How do you describe Canada Reads to people who don't know what it is?
I call it, and I actually tweeted this today, I call it the Super Bowl of literature.
Oh,
actually, you know what? That's incorrect.
What is it?
It's the Grey Cup of literature.
There we go. My name's Craig Davidson. I'm a writer, live in Toronto, and I wrote a book called Precious Cargo, and I'm here with world-famous storm chaser, Greg Johnson. In addition to being a storm chaser, you're a photographer. You've had a varied and I think very fascinating existence.
There's kind of some parallels, isn't
there?
Yeah,
there are. We definitely are well matched. So, with your permission, I'm going to ask you some questions.
Sure.
What was it about my book that you connected with?
You, man. I mean, the story's great. The story's funny. The message is powerful. All of those things, but that exists in all 5 books. Mm-hmm. But the thing that I really took away from your book was you. Like I saw so much of your story, your life story, mm-hmm. in myself. That failure upon failure,
right.
and upon failure, and I mean you right. failed a lot, dude.
Oh yes,
yes. You were really horrible for a long time. Yeah,
that's true.
But I mean, we all go through that, right?
Sure.
And I got to that same point where you're doing this crappy job because mm-hmm. it's like the last possible outlet, and then it turns into this really incredible, powerful experience that sort of changes who you are and how you look at life. And so I saw a lot of that in me, and then on top of that, I laughed throughout the book, and a few points there were some tears shed.
Right. Well, that's good. It's good to be in touch
Yeah.
with our emotions that way. So,
what was the best part of writing the book?
Well, I think probably the best part of writing the book happened before writing the book, which was the actual experience itself, which was spending time on the bus with those kids, getting to know them, getting to know their families, and basically kind of getting a breakneck education on a topic that I had very little understanding of beforehand. So, what is the first word that pops in your head when I say Canada Read?
The first thing that would pop in my head when I say Canada Reads is honored.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
That's a much better one than me.
My guidance counselor from high school,
yes,
would be shocked by this
turn of events, right?
This event going on right now, and that I'm somehow even involved in this.
Right.
I was more of a sciences, math kind of guy, and back then, and so the idea of something like actually picking up a book and reading it.
We're happy to have you on this side of the fence, though.
Yeah. When did you realize that you wanted to be a writer?
It was pretty early in my life. I think probably I did a grade 12 creative writing course, and I was a terrible student in every other way. And I remember my teacher, Miss Jeffries, came up to me and she said, "I can't believe I'm saying this, Davidson, but you actually seem to show some proficiency and talent at this." And there were days later when I was poor and impoverished, wishing she'd never even given me a glimmer of hope. But the desire to be a writer happened quite early in my life.
So we need to make sure that Miss Jefferson,
Miss Jeffries.
Yes. Miss Jeffries.
Shout out to you, Miss Jeffries.
If you're listening or watching. What's the best book you've ever read?
Wow, that's a tough one. I would say it'd probably be something by Stephen King. I mean, he's my favorite author, so I would say It probably is my favorite book, less because of the horror aspects of it, although those are very terrifying, is because he captures childhood in a way that I've, in my reading, no one else has done it as successfully and as poignantly.
Well, maybe your childhood, but my childhood was not in any Stephen King
book,
but okay. All right.
Yeah.